Gonna unequip my Godspeed sandals because they give terrible debuffs to the partner. Let's head over to Sugi. Now, as per my restrictions, I have to turn off my autolooter. It's in here. Should be this one. This one. Double click that, or single click, and that's turned off. Let's buy a disgusting plate. There it is. We'll refresh the Orb of Speed on my demon. And let's do this thing. Wildcat. Can't enter because the friendship is too low. There we go. Now we should be good to go. Okay. It's been a while since I've been in a dungeon. Look at this walk cycle. You got an ass. We can cycle between Agaleo. Well, we do get 2 shots of Agaleo. And when my MP starts to dwindle, I can swap over to Soul Suck to get all my MP back. Should work pretty well. Damage is very nice. Apparently MP wasn't even an issue. Like, I just cleared that entire room and I only dropped 50 MP points. Maybe it's some piece of gear here that's giving us MP regen. And here's the boss room. Should be able to clear this pretty easily because everything else was a cinch. Big old Garm, weak to fire. Easily take him out. And that's my first Wildcat complete. Got 131 SP. I'm going to allow myself to use that. Can't really get rid of it anyway. And I would normally take this chest and this golden light, but we're not going to. So apparently there's an item. Here it is. A little comp on the ground. No, I can't loot that. I'm not allowed to loot that. There it is, the damaged S comp modified. We'll take that back to Setsu to finish off the quest. What up, Setsu? Talk about work. And there's brother and sister complete. We can now use our 5k SP vouchers that we get from, I think, Ace boxes. Not sure if we've got any of those yet, but we're now allowed to spend them. And we can now do Wildcat runs, which we have access to Boundless Wildcat, Ice Caves Wildcat, Dark Babel Door Wildcat, but that's very difficult. I think that's everything. Now, Higher Griever is not going to be my main Wildcat demon. That was just to clear Sugi Bronze. I do have a demon in mind, and I'll keep that a secret for now, and we'll build that eventually. Let's take on TMG building. Disregard this Nue, just want to try and level him up. So this is a pretty short run. Yep, lets me in. And basically it's a bunch of hallways to the top floor where we fight Lucifuge. So she'll open the door. And I can actually talk to her to go to the other side somehow. So this tower has 2 sides, north and south I assume. And one side is immune to physical damage and the other side is immune to magic damage. So I think I'm on the side that I should be. Let's see. Yep, this is the one. So beside just running to the top of the tower to fight Lucifuge, you can also clear some of these enemies and it opens up a room full of treasure chests. And in these treasure chests are a decent amount of magnetite and these hazel branches, which act as a currency that allow you to give your demons like really nice passive skills. You need quite a lot of them, but the main way to get them is by killing Lucifuge. You can actually click these little arrows and you get like a tiny speed buff. It's little, but it's nice to have. You can ignore most of the enemies and only kill the ones that are guarding a door. So this is the top floor. And if I could keep moving forward, I would just go to the other side of the tower. Like they both converge at the top. But we're going to go straight to Lucifuge. Just talk to this guy. and move to the top floor. And then we go to here, through this portal, and then we can see Lucy. Now Lucy is weak to electric. He does have a lot of health, so we're going to see how this goes. This is only the easy mode, by the way. There's a harder mode that I have to do a lot more during the run. Uses Incense of Protection. Now we're fully buffed, and well, here goes nothing. What up, Lucy? Come at me. He does use Almighty, which is going to be an issue. I may have to hit up a dodge if necessary. Damage is okay. I don't think we'll be able to take the hard mode version though. I'll try and keep these shields up. It's nice that all his ads have targeted Kakuri Hime. I don't need to worry about them. Looks like he did put a panic on me. Still am not immune to panic, which makes my cooldowns horrible. I'm out of shields. That's the Almighty attack. I'm gonna have to dodge. It's like a beam. It makes a very distinct noise, so I can easily dodge it beforehand. And that was easy mode Lucy. Oh, I forgot to turn auto loop back on, of course. So the drops here, you can get these, you get a lot of magnetite, and these are just demon food. I can feed to my future DU demon. And 10 hazel branches from the easy mode, and some apples, 250 of them. So easy mode doesn't actually have any drops, it just drops like a male only DT that I can't even wear. And the hard mode drops a talisman that lets you skip right to this boss, you don't have to run through the hallways. And it also drops this True Devil Summoner costume, which is where I get that plus 30% double fusion chance that I mentioned before. But one of the other choices actually gives you 50% TA chance and power, plus 20% LB chance on one gear item. This is a crazy top. TA, if you didn't know, is like a secondary hit that can happen whenever you deal damage. So say you dealt 100 damage, if your TA power was 50, you would then deal 50 damage again. Very similar to Pursuit, just a different name. So this is something that I'm aiming for, but I don't think I can clear the hard mode of TMG yet. But collecting these branches and buying passive skills for my demon and stealing that with Digi is sort of the route to be able to clear TMG hard. So I probably will be running this quite a bit just to collect these hazel branches. I'll show you the skills that it can teach you. It's just this girl over here. So passive skills, what we want to see. She has these. They increase your LB cap. I'm not going to be needing that till later. These ones give you a bit of pursuit chance and power. They're pretty nice, but very expensive, 3k. These are the important ones. So this one costs 1k hazel branches, and whenever you use fire attacks, you have 40% final crit correction, which means 40% of the time, no matter what you attack, you will do a crit. Very useful, and that is how you start getting into endgame bossing, with this final crit correction. There's also one that gives you 40% LB chance, which is very nice. Almost gets me to 100% on top of all the other buffs I have. And there's one for TA as well. But as I said, these are only locked to using fire or like ice. There's one for electric and force as well. So I'm going to have to pick a style to specialize in. Generally, electric or fire are the best picks. Just because of the soul stones that are available, they were skewed towards those two affinities, but New Moon has been adding a few more. I think we have a force one now and an ice one, so they're probably all viable. It's just a matter of checking out what bosses you want to kill and what they're weak to, or at least what they null. Because if you're speccing into fire and your boss nulls fire, you're going to have an issue. Let us continue on with the axe. This time we have to go to Protopia. This is where we're going to be taking our axe from now on. Gonna knock on this door. We got a very long cutscene here. Okay. Apparently there's a Cerberus near the fountain. Yep, there he is. Okay, this is the part where I need to be law, because if you're neutral or chaos, you can't actually enter Lord Judah's palace without entering Shinagawa catacombs and taking a buff from an NPC in there. And obviously I can't enter Shinagawa catacombs, that's a bronze dungeon. So I just need to shift to law now, just for this one quest. I'm almost there. I'm hoping the methods available to me will bump me over to law. First thing I can try is paying 50k to this girl over here. It gives you a decent little shift. Ask for a no, not blessing. Make a donation. For 50k mecha. Does that get me there? Oh, it's straddling the line. Now there's one other thing we can do that gives us a tiny little bump. I think it's over here? No, it's probably over here. This guy activates a little minigame. It's actually the same minigame that the Lakshmi field boss, I was talking about that like a few episodes ago. This is the minigame that allows you to fight for your alignment to have field bosses spawning. It gives you a tiny bump towards the alignment you pick. So this is the law one. I want to participate. Cooperate and go for this big dialogue. He wants 10k magnetite to start the timer. And there we are. Bump to law. Beautiful. Now we see we have this invoke is active. The minigame is called invoke, and you get 2 hours to kill a bunch of enemies and collect these emblems, which you can spend on plugins like Lakshmi. If you can't ever find one in the field, you can just spend the emblems to get a plugin that way. So now that we're law, we can enter Judah's temple. And because we're law, we lose access to, I think, our top soul stone. Yeah, if player is neutral, we have minus 10% damage taken. That's going to be a bit painful, but we'll manage. Okay, that's Judah done. Now we have to do Dukin. His is a lot easier. All I have to do is pay 100k Maka to get in. If I'm a law aligned, pretty easy. Okay, that's Dukin. Now I gotta go back to Cerberus. Gonna summon out my Nue so we can soak up the XP from this quest. Just trying to get him to a high enough level so that he can be cared to give his DCM. Because the DCM is normally obtained through a dungeon, so this is the only way I can get it, and I need to do that for a quest. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna need Masticatus, which is normally obtained from Diaspora, but you can also get them through Ace boxes, I think it was. And we luckily have one, and that's all we need. So speaking of Diaspora, it's not a solo dungeon, so my rule can't really apply where I have to solo the dungeon comfortably before I can do it with other people. Like, it's a minimum a duo run. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to comfortably hold up half of the run. Like, there's 2 mini bosses, so I have to be able to kill 1 mini boss fine, and then the final boss I'll have to deal half of the damage. And that'll allow me to party up with a bunch of people, because this run is up to 30 people, and most of the time people come here with a massive group to do it. Yeah, we'll talk to Gomery, and she'll take this Masticatus from us. It'll be a while before I do Diaspora, because some of the demons in there are only damageable by your own demon, and right now I have pretty shitty demons. Okay, I have to return to Protopia through the teleporter room. Haven't actually used this door yet. I remember I did knock on the door before, and they didn't let me in. Gotta talk to the innocent, maybe? Yeah. Keep talking. Let me in, buddy. Thank you. Okay, that's quest complete. We can now enter Diaspora. We'll do that at some point. Now it looks like we have an 8-hour time lock out of this for some reason. Although, it's only the start of my weekend now. I can probably do that later on at night. Yeah, the Cerberus isn't even here. Oh no, he's over here. Maybe I can start it? Oh shit, I had to answer this in a specific way. I picked the top one. And I think we want to go for Gabriel's plugin. Like, depending on how we answer here is which plugin we get. So the top one was correct for Gabriel. Question 2, want to go the top one, so yes. Question 3 is the top one, okay. Question 4, the answer is yes. And that should be the law route for Gabriel's plugin. Now we got to go to Yamamoto, and he sends us to TMG. Act progression on the tablet, and we have a little bit of a fight here. Oh my god, look how quick he is. Let's see how this goes. Ah, they're pretty weak. Ose has protection against spread. Maybe we'll try force. Looks okay. Okay, back to Yamamoto to finish this one off. And apparently the 8-hour lock didn't exist. Maybe they removed that for New Moon. Okay. On to the next one. And this is when we start hitting up gold dungeons, with my exception. Gotta turn off autolooter again. So we'll go to the Protopia. Actually, I'm not neutral anymore, so maybe my leader is Judah. We'll see if Judah wants to give me the quest. Okay, he wants me to go into Shibuya Quartz. Here we are at Quartz. Let's turn off auto loot. And these plates are bought with the fruits that you get from Cyan. So we just got some Madra here. Not sure how much they cost. Been a while since I've done this. Yeah, Amrita, Elixir, Ambrosia, and Madra only cost 1. That's fine. So Shibuya Gold can be quite daunting for a lot of people, but there's actually a shortcut to just clear the entire dungeon in like 1 minute. I'll show you how it goes. So you spawn in, you've got a bunch of crystals surrounding you, different paths you can take. All you have to do is go to this crystal, and it puts you right near the boss teleporter. It's right there. You just got to clear this one room and you're good to go. Let's see if we can do this. Normally these are pretty difficult enemies in here. Looks fine. Oh, shit, these things. Ooh! These kaleidoscope Inigamis null everything I have, except for, like, blunt damage if I just hit them with a sword. Can I find a weapon? Oh yeah, this one. This might do. See how shit my damage is when I use melee attacks. Let me just try and clear out the rest of the enemies first. Okay, I'm gonna have to toggle off my switch because that completely tanks my melee damage. And let's see. Let's just hit them. Oh yeah. Surprisingly, not too bad. Although I do lose my super armor, so they're gonna knock me around a ton, which is annoying. Okay, there's one down. A lot easier when there's only one to kill. Just hitting him with a baseball bat. Boom. Boom. There we go. Yeah, and we're right at the boss. And we get a cutscene. Just swap to ice, because Cerberus normally weak to ice. Apparently this is a tough little fight here. But I think we're stronger than they expect us to be. We'll see how it goes. There he is. Void Cerberus. Just gonna start charging up almighty. Easy. His head's fucking cut off. Jesus. We've got some loot boxes, but not going to take them. Obviously. It's part of my restrictions. Let's go back to Lord Judah. Yeah, there's that quest done. Next up, we're going to do Selu Gold. Oh, I have to re-enter the room. That's what that guy was doing. I was wondering why he was running away. This is a long-ass dungeon. Okay, let's get to it. I think ice might be a good... Oh, I don't have my gunslinger turned on. There we go. Super armor back in play. Ice might be a good one to main for this. A lot of flying enemies. It's interesting trying to keep High Noon up in these long corridors. Haven't really had a dungeon that's like a lot of running. Why am I stuck? What the fuck? What was that? As I was saying, I haven't really had any dungeons where there's just a bunch of running in corridors yet. Oh, I just realized I was supposed to be doing the the Raphael item in here. Let me quickly get that out of my depot. Almost forgot about it. Hope it's not too late to use it. Where was it? There it is. Let's take him out. Please let me work. Oh yeah, okay, it's going. There he is. Didn't check his weakness, but he seems pretty weak. Beautiful. So now we can get into Mountain Massacado. And I was trying to do that because even the easy mode drops a ton of diamonds, and diamonds are used for a lot of quests. Okay, we made it to the boss. This will be a Gabriel, not the normal Selu gold boss, because we're doing an act. Let's go. A flower in one hand and a sword in the other. Is this like a metaphor? Okay, I'm just going to stick with spread here. Hopefully that'll get the job done. Just use Trigger Happy Strong because it seems like he has knockback. You can take him out pretty easily. There it is. Okay. Wish I knew what was in those end chests. Let's go back to Judah for the next one. Okay, next up is Itchy Camp Gold. This is normally a trio run, but I'm going to show you how to do it solo. And I have a feeling we're going to need this stick again, the baseball bat. There's some enemies in here that have some decent nulls on them. So once you clear this room, you just hit this little switch here, which spawns a bunch of chests on the floor. Just one. And it scales on the amount of players in your party. But just one is enough to get through the entire dungeon, I'm pretty sure. It might depend which one you get, but 9 should be good enough. That's the lowest floor. We just take that to the elevator down here. Actually, do I even need to? Oh, I don't even need to do that. I can just head straight to the boss, obviously. What I was gonna do is 4 kings, which is the normal way to run the dungeon, but this one's special because it's an act dungeon. Guess you won't ever be seeing me do 4 kings in this series, because I'm not allowed back in this dungeon ever again. We're up against an Isis, weak to electric. Apparently Azura is the Isis. Okay, they've all been pretty weak so far. Okay, back to Judah it looks like. Okay, the next quest is Distortion. And this is the first time where we're entering a dungeon where we are allowed to be inside there. So we're going to get the loot at the end of it, and there's quite some nice loot. Distortion is found down at the Shinjuku docks. It's a very long dungeon. You just go through a single floor of each of the mainline dungeons, specifically the ones I can't enter. Should be just this one. We can go to use the elevator. Yep. Okay. So first floor is Selu. So we can use ice. I don't think they're any stronger than just a regular Selu gold. So clearly I've proven that I'm able to do those dungeons. So we shouldn't have any trouble here. Got our first Lily emblem. This is from the Invoke, where you can get the Lakshmi to spawn. Not sure if I'm going to be using those, but we'll stack them up anyway. Doesn't look like Nue can survive in here. Just going to summon out Hime. It's nice to have her passive skills anyway for the cooldown reduction. What is that stance that he's stuck in? That's weird. Do I have to kill everything? Because these horses are pretty tanky. Oh, my inventory is messed up. Yeah, you get these Sands of Logic. Actually going to remove them from my auto loot because there's just way too many of them to worry about picking up. The second floor is Shinigami Catacombs. So much loot because there's so many different families of demons in here. So many melons, so many gems. Can we blast the entire room in one hit? Yes, we can. Okay, third floor will be ZQ, and as I remember we have to go behind the teleporter. That's the correct path. Hopefully this run will be quick enough that it's my new best MF grind, because you get, I think, 28 MF at the end of this, compared to the 5 that I get from Tokyo Metro. Electric seems to be doing pretty well here. Gonna try and find an affinity to main for each floor, and then write them all down, so it'll be a lot quicker for me. Inventory space is becoming an issue. It's full of melons. 4th floor is Sugi Tunnels. That should be ice. So many doggies in here weak to ice. Oh, maybe not because there's Jack Frosts. Maybe we'll try Force. Look at all these dogs. Hime cannot survive. She's too weak. It might be about time where I upgrade her to like a better slave demon. Alright, that's Sugi done. Now we're on to Quartz. Oh no, we've got Kaleidoscope Inigamis again. Oh shit, and the bomb, and the bomber boys. I'm gonna be bombed, aren't I? I can't click him! I can't fucking click him. Okay, how am I alive? Now I'm dead. Oh, the reflect managed to save me. I do have a way to deal with these Inigamis later on. Once I unlock Almighty damage, it just goes through all nulls. Almighty is super OP in this game. How do I kill this fucking Furie? It reflects everything, just like the Inigamis. Oh, he just straight up repels all physical damage. This is another one where I need my almighty damage, but that's further up in Ashes and Dust. That's actually the reason why I'm powering through all these axes, because I can get some more expertise cap after I complete them. So how do I deal with this? Can I just shoot Aggie at him and hopefully get him down? See how much health he has. Drain? I'm not seeing a drain on the wiki. Oh, what the hell? That's weird. Yeah, we're gonna need my trusty old stick for these guys. Where is it? Here it is. You ready for the beat down now, man? I'll be back to shoot you guys with Almighty before you even know it. There might be more, so we'll hold on to the bat for now. But I gotta clear these melons out. Please no more Inigamis. I've had enough. Okay, that was like 15 Inigamis. Finally got through them all. Definitely not coming back here until I have Almighty damage. And the final floor is Ichigaya. Okay, onto the final floor now. I remember this being a pretty difficult fight. Might as well look up the weaknesses. Floros is best for ice, and the Ose is ice. Ice is okay as well. I guess we're gonna use ice then. Let's rock and roll. Not too bad, not too bad. Got my high noon going, so we can start running around. You only have 3 minutes to clear this, so this is a point where a lot of people get stuck. Well, it's a lot easier now that we have super armor through expertise. I think every class gets it now, from what I saw. Originally, you'd have to be spec'd into enhancement to get super armor this early. And that should do it. First distortion run done. Do we get loot or do we miss the loot because this is a... No, it looks like we are getting some. First loot box. A beautiful 280 Yagyo reports, and the Book of Ice is 100% drop. You need 20 or so of them for a quest. Gonna be stacking those up. And they can be traded in for MF as well. That is assuming I can't complete that quest, because there might be some other items you need for that quest that I don't have access to. Alright. Beautiful first distortion. Gonna get even faster than that once I have almighty damage.